this lesson goes over partial fraction decomposition. The whole idea with these is that you're given an expression that is the answer of two or more fractions being added together. And the whole idea for this is for you to work backwards and give what was originally the expression that's being added or subtracted in order to get the answer that is now your question. If we look at the first example, these just go through the different steps and everything. It's a lot easier for me to show you as we do an example for you to understand your steps. So if we look at the first example, we have 6x plus 14 all over x minus 3 times x plus 5. So this fraction's denominator is already factored for us. Most of the time it won't be, so we'll have to factor it and then set it equal to 0 and solve for x. The reason why we solve for x is because later on down the road we're going to use what x is equal to. So the first thing that I would do here is I would take each of these parts in the denominator and I would set them equal to 0. From here, I'm going to move the 3 over by adding it to both sides, and we get that x is 3. And then we move the 5 over by subtracting it from each side, and we get that x is negative 5. From here, we want to, hold on one second. Okay. So from here, we're going to actually use that part later on. We have two different parentheses that this factors out to be. So we're going to use a over what's one of them, which is the x minus 3, plus b over the other, which is x plus 5. In order to get to our next part, we're going to multiply that a by whatever our fraction in that term is missing in order to get that least common denominator that we started with. So we would multiply that by the x plus 5. That b we would multiply by x minus 3. What this does is it gives you a times x plus 5 plus b times x minus 3. You're going to set this equal to the numerator that you started with, so this 6x plus 14. From there, you are going to plug in for x for each of the what you found what x was equal to from the very beginning. So in the very beginning, if you remember, we found that x is 3 and x is negative 5. So you're going to start by doing x is 3. You're going to plug that 3 in anywhere you see an x in that orange equation that we just wrote out. So we're going to have a times 3 plus 5 plus b times 3 minus 3 is equal to 6 times 3 plus 14. Simplify this, we have a times 8 plus b times 0 is equal to 6 times 3 is 18 plus 4. From here, we're going to have a times 8 is 8a. The b times 0 cancels out. And then you have 18 plus 4, which gives us 22. Divide each side by that 8, and you get that a is 11 over 4. You're going to do the same exact thing now, but when x is also negative 5. So plug in that negative 5 everywhere you see an x in that equation. So we're going to have a times negative 5 plus 5 plus b times negative 5 minus 3 is equal to 6 times negative 5 plus 14. From here, we're going to have a times 0 plus b times negative 8 is equal to negative 30 plus 14. That a times 0 is going to cancel out. The b times negative 8 is negative 8b, and then the negative 30 plus the 14 gives us negative 16. We're going to divide each side by the -8. These negatives turn into positives, and b is equal to 2. Now that you have what a and b are, plug them into the very top that we had, that a over x minus 3 plus b over x plus 5. This is going to give us 11 over 4 over x minus 3 plus 2 over x plus 5. You're going to rewrite this because this fraction that you started with here is the same thing as saying 11 over 4 divided by x minus 3, which is x minus 3 over 1. So keep, change, flip. So that's going to be 11 over 4 times 1 over x minus 3. So that's going to just give us 11 over 4 times x minus 3 plus 2 over x plus 5. So again, we're just taking that fraction that's given to us as our question and working backwards to where we get what our original question was to get what our answer would be, is that 6x plus 14 over x minus 3 times x plus 5. So for our next example, we have x minus 14 over x minus 2 times x minus 5. Again, in this one, our denominator is factored for us. So we're just going to take that x minus 2, set it equal to 0, and solve. So we add the 2, and we get that x is 2. We're also going to take that x minus 5, set it equal to 0, move the 5 over, and we have that x is also 5. So when we're doing this, we're going to think a over x minus 2 plus b over x minus 5. The x minus 2 is missing the x minus 5, so we're going to multiply that a by x minus 5. The b is missing, or sorry, the x minus 5 is missing the x minus 2, so we're going to multiply b by x minus 2. When we do this, we're going to have a times x minus 5 plus b times x minus 2 is equal to the numerator that we started with, which is x minus 14. Use x as 2 and x as 5. So if we let x equal 2, this is going to give us a times 2 minus 5 plus b times 2 minus 2 is equal to 2 minus 14. The 2 minus 5 is negative 3, so it's a times negative 3 plus b times 0 is equal to negative 12. A times negative 3 is negative 3a. B times 0 cancels out. So we have 3a, negative 3a is equal to negative 12. Divide each side by the negative 3. And we have that a is equal to 4. Do the same thing now by letting x equal 5. Bless you. So we're going to have a times 5 minus 5 plus b times 5 minus 2 is equal to 5 minus 14. That 5 minus 5 is equal to 0. So that's a times 0. The 5 minus 2 is 3, so that's b times 3. And 5 minus 14 is negative 9. The a times 0 cancels out. B times 3 is 3b is equal to negative 9. We're going to divide each side by the 3. And we get that b is negative 3. So from here, just plug in the 4 for a and the negative 3 for b in that a over x minus 2 plus b over x minus 5. This is going to give us 4 over x minus 2 plus negative 3 over x minus 5. Now, sometimes you can leave it like this. Other times, especially like on an SAT, ACT, anything like that, you'll see this simplified further. A positive times a negative with that plus negative 3 gives us a negative. So this would really be seen as 4 over x minus 2 minus 3 over x minus 5. So again, we're just simplifying those signs with these as well. Our next example, we have x minus 2 over x squared plus 10x plus 9. So with this one, our denominator is not factored for us, so we're going to factor it first. That 9 has factors of 1 and 9 that add up to be 10. So this factors out to be x plus 1 times x plus 9. If we set that x plus 1 equal to 0 and that x plus 9 equal to 0, we're going to move the 1 over by subtracting it from each side, and we get that x is equal to negative 1. We move the 9 over by subtracting it from each side, and we have that x is equal to negative 9. So we're going to let x be negative 1 and let x be negative 9 when we go to simplify these. So we're going to start, because there's 2 there, with a over x plus 1 plus b over x plus 9. That x plus 1 is missing the x plus 9, so a gets multiplied by x plus 9. The x plus 9 is missing the x plus 1, so b gets multiplied by x plus 1. This is going to give us a times x plus 9 plus b times x plus 1 is equal to the original numerator, which is x minus 2. You're going to use x as negative 1 to start with. So this is going to give us a times negative 1 plus 9 plus b times negative 1 plus 1 is equal to negative 1 minus 2. Negative 1 plus 9 gives us 8, so a times 8. The b gets multiplied by 0 because negative 1 plus 1 is 0, and negative 1 minus 2 is negative 3. So this gives us a times 8 is 8a plus nothing that cancels out, so equals negative 3. Divide each side by the 8, and we get that a is negative 3/8. We're also going to let x equal negative 9. So we're going to have a times negative 9 plus 9 plus b times negative 9 plus 1 is equal to negative 9 minus 2. This is going to leave us with a times 0 plus b times negative 8 is equal to negative 11. A times 0 cancels out, so it's negative 8b is equal to negative 11. Divide each side by the negative 8, and we get that b is 11/8. If we go to plug that a and that b in to that a over x plus 1 plus b over x minus 9, this is going to give us negative 3/8 over x plus 1 plus 11/8 over x plus 9. If you remember from the first question that we went over together, with our fractions in the numerator, that denominator of the numerator's fraction goes with the denominator of your entire fraction. So this is going to become negative 3 over 8 times x plus 1 plus 11 over 8 times x plus 9. For this example, we have x squared plus 12x plus 12 all over x cubed minus 4x. For this one, our denominator is not factored for us, so we're going to factor the denominator. We can take an x out, and we just get x squared minus 4. You can still factor that x squared minus 4, so you're going to have x times x minus 2 times x plus 2. From here, set them all equal to 0. So x is equal to 0, x minus 2 is equal to 0, and x plus 2 is equal to 0. You're going to have that x is equal to 0, x is equal to positive 2, and x is equal to negative 2. We're going to be using a over x plus b over x minus 2 plus c over x plus 2. For the x, you're missing that x squared minus 4. For the b, you're missing x times x minus, or x plus 2, so that's x squared plus 2x. And for c, you're missing x squared minus 2x. For our next step, we're going to have a times x squared minus 4 plus b times x squared plus 2x plus c times x squared minus 2x is equal to that numerator of x squared plus 12x plus 12. We're going to start with x is equal to 0. This is going to give us a times 0 squared minus 4 plus b times 0 squared plus 2 times 0 plus c times 0 squared minus 2 times 0 is equal to 0 squared plus 12 times 0 plus 12. That 0 squared minus 4 is just negative 4. The 0 squared plus 2 times 0 cancels the b out. It also will cancel the c out. So we're going to have that a minus 4, or a times negative 4, is equal to 0 squared, which is 0, plus 12 times 0, which is 0, plus 12. So negative 4a is equal to 12. Divide each side by the negative 4, and you have that a is negative 3. Next, we're going to do this when x is equal to 2. So we're going to have a times 2 squared minus 4 plus b times 2 squared plus 2 times 2. 2 times 2 plus c times 2 squared minus 2 times 2 is equal to 2 squared plus 12 times 2 plus 12. So from here, we're going to have a times 4 minus 4 plus b times 4 plus 4 plus c times 4 minus 4 is equal to 4 plus 24 plus 12. 4 minus 4 is 0, cancels out the a, cancels out the c. So it's going to be 8b is equal to 4 plus 24 plus 12, which is 40. Divide each side by the 8, and we get that b is 5. So the last one we have to do is to solve or simplify for when x is negative 2. So it's going to give us a times negative 2 squared minus 4 plus b times negative 2 squared plus 2 times negative 2 plus c times negative 2 squared minus 2 times negative 2 is equal to negative 2 squared plus 12 times negative 2 plus 12. So this is going to be a times 4 minus 4 plus b times 4 minus 4 plus c times 4 plus 4 is equal to 4 minus 24 plus 12. So 4 minus 4 cancels out the a and the b. We have 8c is equal to 4 minus 24 plus 12 gives us negative 8. We divide each side by the 8, and we get that c is equal to negative 1. So if we remember, we do not have a coefficient of x, it's just 1. But because there is that 1 there, it's still going to go in front of our answer. So we're going to have 1 plus a, we said, is negative 3 over x plus b is 5 over x minus 2 plus c is negative 1 over x plus 2. Check your signs. We do have a positive and a negative. Same thing with that negative 3. So it's going to be 1 minus 3 over x plus 5 over x minus 2 minus 1 over x plus 2. That is when we have x plus 3 over x squared minus 3x minus 40. So the first thing that we're going to do with this is to factor that denominator. So this denominator, you want to find the factors of that negative 40 that add up to be negative 3. If you don't know off the top of your head, find them all. We do have 5 and negative 8 that will give us the negative 3. So this factors out to be x plus 5 times x minus 8. We will use this in a over x plus 5 plus b over x minus 8. If I were you at this time, I would also solve this if it was equal to 0. So then I would have the x plus 5 is equal to 0, and the x minus 8 is equal to 0. Move the 5 over, move the 8 over. You get that x is equal to negative 5, and x is equal to positive 8. So from here, you want to use that a over x plus 5 plus b over x minus 8. You want to go ahead and from here, with the first fraction, what are you going to multiply it by in order to get the denominator to be what you originally started with? So you would multiply it by that x minus 8. The second fraction, you'd multiply it by x plus 5. So this is going to give you a times x minus 8 plus b times x plus 5 is equal to the numerator that you started with, which is the x plus 3. You're going to let x equal negative 5. You're also going to let x equal 8. To start, use the negative 5 for x, so you're going to have a times negative 5 minus 8 plus b times negative 5 plus 5 is equal to negative 5 plus 3. You're going to get a times negative 13 plus b times 0 is equal to negative 2. From here, that b cancels out. You have negative 13a is equal to negative 2. Divide each side by the negative 13, and you get that a is 2/13. Do the same, but now plug in the 8 for x. So it's going to give us a times 8 minus 8 plus b times 8 plus 5 is equal to 8 plus 3. 8 minus 8 is 0. That's 8 times 0. 8 plus 5 is 13. So it's b times 13 is equal to 8 plus 3, which is 11. From here, that a times 0 cancels out, so you're just working with the 13b is equal to 11. Divide each side by the 13, and you get that b is 11 over 13. From here, plug these into that a over x plus 5 plus b over x minus 8. So this is going to give us 2 over 13 over x plus 5 plus 11 over 13 over x minus 8. You do still need to simplify this because you have the fraction in the numerator. Remember, this is the same exact thing as saying like 2 over 13 divided by x plus 5. So keep, change, flip. Keep, change, flip. This is going to give us 2 over 13 times x plus 5 plus, keep, change, flip, 11 over 13 times x minus 8.